here big one, and there are two small. Okay, keep on seeing the things. Actually, we are supposed to be in a circle so that you can see all three. Anyhow, because the lab is busy, huh?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, yeah. Pardon?
What should I do?
You should watch observe the things which we show you. Okay.
If you can pass it to the
Okay, who are in the back, better. Okay. You can see from the front. Those who are in the back. Okay. So to begin with the pharynx. Okay. So the pharynx begins and ends. So it begins at where? Pharynx. Being the soft palate.
Below the skull.
Below the skull, base of the skull. So from here. Okay. Soft palate to the epiglottis is the oropharynx. So this starts from here. This whole thing is the pharynx. So it begins from the base of the skull and ends at
C6 vertebra.
C6 vertebra. Okay. Okay. So this whole extension of this is the pharynx. Okay. Goes on the other side. We have a face. Vertebral side. So here are the vertebrae. Okay. And here is the spinal cord. And it's okay. So this is the pharynx. Okay. So this is behind. This is the nasal cavity. Then we have the oral cavity, and behind the this is the larynx. Okay. You can all see. So this is the nasopharynx. This is the nasal cavity, oral cavity, and the larynx. So whatever is behind that part, that will be related. So it is relatedly called as this part is called as the nasopharynx. This is called as the oropharynx, and below it is called the laryngopharynx. And below that will be it contains as the
Pharynx.
So to begin with, this is the nasopharynx. Okay, this is the nasopharynx. This extends from the base of the skull up to the soft palate. So this is the nasopharynx up to the soft palate. Okay, this is the hard palate here. This is the soft palate. Here are the muscles. Here are the bone. Okay, so this is called a soft palate. So it extends from the base of the skull up to the soft palate. So this is the nasopharynx. Okay, and this is behind the nasal cavity. What are the important structures we can see here in the nasopharynx? We are talking about the interior of the nasopharynx.
Pharyngeal tonsils.
One is the most important is the pharyngeal tonsil. Can you see here? Okay, so this is the pharyngeal tonsil. Okay. Yeah. So this is the pharyngeal tonsil, and if it gets infected, that leads to a condition called as adenoids. Then the second important feature you can see here is the This called as the opening of the auditory tube. Okay, so this is the opening for the auditory tube, or it is also called as
What is this?
tubal elevation is behind. This is the elevation is behind.
Pharyngeal isthmus.
Pharyngeal isthmus. This is the pharyngeal isthmus. Okay. So pharyngeal isthmus is that part which is connecting the nasopharynx with the oropharynx. This part is called as the pharyngeal isthmus. Okay. So this is the opening for the auditory tube, which will be connecting the pharynx to the middle ear, and just behind that there is an elevation. This is called as the tubal elevation, and behind that there is a space. This is called as pharyngeal recess. Pharyngeal recess. Okay. All these parts are important, especially whenever there is any kind of infections, as well as even sometimes foreign bodies, or even sometimes the carcinomas. So you should exactly locate which is the part which is prone for all these things. Okay. So these are the parts, and there is an elevation extending from the auditory tube to the vertically downwards. So this is called as pharyngeal fold. Pharyngeal fold. Can you see this fold? This elevation is there. Okay. If you are close enough, so you can see all these things. Okay. There is an elevation which is vertically running downwards from the auditory tube. So this is called as the salpingopharyngeal elevation or fold. This is because of
Muscles.
a muscle. Which muscle?
Pharyngeus muscle.
Salpingopharyngeus muscle. Deep inside there is a muscle which is extending from here. Okay, that is the salpingopharyngeus muscle, and on that is the elevation. This is the mucosal fold on that. That will be called as the salpingopharyngeal fold. Okay. So these are some of the important features which you can see. Anything else here? The nasopharynx. Then going to the oropharynx. This is the oropharynx. This oropharynx extends from the soft palate up to the epiglottis. Up to the epiglottis. Okay. So it extends from the soft palate up to the epiglottis. This is the oropharynx, which is behind the oral cavity. Okay. So here we can see the important feature you can see here is one structure here. What is this? This is called as the palatine tonsil. Okay, this is the palatine tonsil. Okay. This one is the palatine tonsil. That model it is much more clear. They have shown the palatine tonsil much more clear. Okay, this is the palatine tonsil. So this is between two folds.
Yes.
What are those folds?
Palatoglossal
fold
and
palatopharyngeal. Palatoglossal fold is in the front and palatopharyngeal fold is behind. Okay. So palatoglossus, it is running from the palate to this glottis, it is the tongue. Okay. Then the other one is the palatopharyngeal, which is running from the palate into the pharynx. So this palatine tonsil is in between these two folds. Okay. And there is an isthmus here, which is between the two palatoglossal folds. That is called as the oropharyngeus, which is connecting the oral cavity with the oropharynx. Okay. So this is there. Okay. Then the roof is formed, as I said, by the soft palate, and the floor is formed by posterior 1/3 of the tongue. This is the, what is this called as? Also called as lingual tonsil. So this is called as the lingual tonsil, and also this is the epiglottis. Okay. So the posterior 1/3 of the tongue as well as the ear.
About the laterals, which one is in front and which one is behind?
Palatoglossal is in the front, palatopharyngeal is behind.
the lingual is spa.
This is the lingual tonsil. The posterior 1/3 of the tongue. Tongue is divided to anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3. So anterior 2/3 is totally muscular. If you can see here, it's totally muscular. The posterior 1/3 is having huge quantity of aggregation of the mucoid follicles, and this is called as tonsil. Okay. So that is because it is in the contact with the tongue, so it is called as lingual tonsil. Okay. So the posterior 1/3 of the tongue as well as the epiglottis will form the floor for this part. Okay. In between this lingual tonsil or the tongue and the epiglottis, there are folds. Okay. One is in the middle and there are two lateral. So what is this called as? Glossoepiglottis. Because it is between glossus, the tongue and the epiglottis. So it is called as glossoepiglottic fold. Yeah. Median is in the center and the lateral, two lateral on either side. Okay. Why this is important? Because in between these two folds, there is a space. That is called as the vallecula. In the middle, between the median as well as the lateral, on either side. So there are two valleculas. Okay. So these are also the points where there might be a foreign body. Okay. So all these, there are some particular stations where you can look for foreign bodies whenever you are. Okay. So here will be the vallecula between the median epiglottic fold and the lateral epiglottic fold. So these are the folds between the glottis, that is the tongue, as well as the epiglottis. Okay. Now going behind. Okay. So here there are so much features going to the laryngopharynx. Okay. Laryngopharynx is below the epiglottis and goes up to the C6 vertebra and behind the larynx. Okay. This is the laryngeal inlet. So it enters this. Here this pharynx is common passage for both respiration for the air as well as the food. Now it divides into larynx, which is only for the air, and the esophagus, which is only for the food. Okay. So pharynx is common for both. Okay. So behind the larynx, okay, there is a space. This is called as the laryngopharynx. Okay. So laryngopharynx is behind the epiglottis, this opening of the larynx, and even up to it goes up to the cord particles. In In the front, we have the thyroid cartilage. You can see here, this is the thyroid cartilage, and here will be the thyroid cartilage, which will form the whole cartilage. Okay. In the larynx, there is one more important space which we cannot exactly show here in this model. That is called as the piriform fossa. Piriform fossa is a very important fossa because it is the site for silent carcinoma as well as
fish bone.
yeah, foreign bodies, especially in the fish bone. Whenever it is caught, it will be seen here usually. Okay, the foreign bodies, especially the fish bone. Okay, so that can be seen in the piriform fossa. Piriform fossa cannot be shown in this model. There is one more model for which we can show it behind the larynx. Okay, so this is not a suitable model for it. So this is about the interior of the larynx. Did we miss anything here? Did we cover everything?
Muscle but not clear.
Huh?
Muscle but
Yeah.
not clear.
Yeah. So this is about the nasopharynx, oropharynx as well as the laryngopharynx. Is it clear here?
Yes.
Okay. Now coming to the muscles. How many muscles are there?
Six.
Six
Circular
muscles.
and then
Three circular as well as three longicular. Okay. The three circular are called as sphincters. Okay. Okay. What are they?
superior, middle, and inferior constrictor.
Superior constrictor, middle constrictor, as well as the inferior constrictor. These are the three constrictors, are also called as sphincters. Okay. And then there are three vertical muscles. Which are those? One you have already seen here. This one. So this one is salpingopharyngeus. Then stylopharyngeus, which is coming from the styloid process here. Okay. From the skull. Okay. Then the third is the palatopharyngeus.
And
Salpingopharyngeus. Salpingopharyngeus we have seen already. This is salpingopharyngeus, palatopharyngeus as well as the stylopharyngeus. Among this, longitudinal and vertical, the horizontal and the vertical, the most important will be the inferior constrictor. Okay. That is the
thyroid.
divided into two parts. One is the thyropharyngeus as well as the thyropharyngeus as well as the cricopharyngeus. Why it is called as thyropharyngeus and cricopharyngeus? Depending on the origin of this muscle. Okay. The inferior constrictor is a single muscle, but depending on the origin, it is taking origin from the thyroid cartilage as well as cricoid cartilage. And we divide it into two because
One is
it has,
skeletal and the other is
both have different actions
Yes,
and
yes.
they have to work opposite
Yes.
every time when they contract. Even though it is a single muscle, it cannot act as a single muscle. Okay. So whenever the thyropharyngeus will contract, it helps in the propulsion of the foot. Propulsion
Yes.
means pushing of the foot downwards
Yes.
for deglutition.
Relax.
Then the cricopharyngeus should
Relax.
Okay, it has to open. It cannot contract. Okay. So if cricopharyngeus contract closes, then the thyropharyngeus should relax.
Relax.
Okay. If both act together, then it will lead to
Choking.
choking of the foot. Okay. Sometimes it happens. Okay. Sudden. Sometimes you are unaware. Sometimes it happens. Okay. So and sometimes it can be really dangerous. Okay. So that's why the inferior constrictor of pharynx is divided into two parts: thyropharyngeus as well as the cricopharyngeus. If somebody has not read, now at least go and try to read it and find out. Okay. So this is about the pharynx. What is the blood supply? Ascending pharyngeal artery. That is the main artery which is supplying the pharynx.
Attention is part of facial.
Branch of the facial artery,
And
lingual artery, even the maxillary.
maxillary.
All these arteries will be supplying the pharynx because the pharynx is extending from all the way from here to here. Okay. And what about the venous drainage? It forms a plexus that is called as pterygoid plexus, and that will be drained.
the internal jugular vein.
All these veins in the head and neck and face finally have to drain into the internal, and few will drain into the external jugular vein. Okay, so this will be draining into the internal jugular vein. Okay. And what about the blood supply of the tonsil?
Motors, all the muscles, lots of.
Okay, okay, okay. Nerve supply?
Supply.
There's a motor.
Motor and sensory.
Motor and sensory. Okay, motor is by
Pharyngeal plexus.
pharyngeal plexus.
Except
All muscles. Motor means muscles. Okay, so it will be supplying all the 6 muscles except one muscle.
Stylopharyngeus.
Stylopharyngeus. Except stylopharyngeus, all other muscles are supplied by the pharyngeal plexus. Okay, what is pharyngeal plexus?
It's by 3 parts.
by the vagus,
vagus
glossopharyngeus,
and
cervical
ganglia.
It has both the sympathetic as well as parasympathetic component. Sympathetic is by superior
superior
cervical ganglion, and the parasympathetic is by the
Vagus and glenohumerus.
vagus as well as the glossopharyngeal. Okay. And what about the remaining one muscle?
By glenohumerus.
Yeah, directly by the glossopharyngeal. Okay. Even though glossopharyngeal is also supplying the plexus, but here the sixth muscle, that is the stylopharyngeus, is directly supplied by the glossopharyngeal. That's all. Okay. Okay. So this is about the motor. Sensory.
Sensory nasopharynx
Yeah.
by
So it is
maxillary.
divided to nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. Nasopharynx is by
Maxillary.
maxillary. Is a branch by the maxillary is a branch of which cranial nerve? Trigeminal nerve. Trigeminal nerve. One of the three divisions of the trigeminal. Okay. Okay. Then the oropharynx. Glossopharyngeal nerve. And then the laryngopharynx.
Interlingual branch of vagus. Branch of
It is
vagus.
by the vagus. Internal laryngeal. It is a branch of the vagus. This is the supply of this. Okay. So now we can go and write the examination. Okay. Okay. So this is about the nerve supply. Okay. Then lymphatic drainage.
Directly by deep cervical.
Deep cervical and indirectly by the
Retropharyngeal.
What do you mean by retropharyngeal? Retro means what?
Retain.
Hmm?
Behind.
Behind. Yeah. So they are behind the pharynx. There are some group of lymph nodes. So from there, because they are very close to the pharynx, so that's why called they are retropharyngeal. So they will be draining to that. From there, finally all have to drain, as I said, into the deep cervical group of lymph nodes. Okay. So even the superficial cervical group of lymph nodes also have to drain into the deep cervical. This is the whole lymphatic. If you don't know anything, lymphatic drainage of the head and neck and face, just write deep cervical group of lymph nodes. So it all drains into the deep cervical. Okay. So everybody can direct marks. Okay. So it is simple. Okay. This is about the blood supply, nerve supply, lymphatic drainage. Okay, of this pharynx. Okay. Anything else here? Okay. Next, pharynx we finish. Anything else is there? Okay. Next, going to the esophagus. So this is the esophagus. Okay. So this esophagus begins from the
Six vertebra.
C6 vertebra. Okay. Then inside T11. Okay. So this OT is the extension of the esophagus. Okay. So what is the length of this esophagus?
25 centimeters.
25 centimeters or 10
10
inches. Okay. Right. Okay. So how is this tube? What is it made up of? How do you introduce this? Muscular, only muscular. Here we said it is musculo, membranous. Okay, here it is totally muscular. Okay, so this is always collapsed. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And here we have cartilages, so it keeps the pharynx open. But here nothing is there. So usually always this tube is collapsed. So that's why first we take some sips of water and then try to open. Then we start taking food. Okay. So this is the whole of the esophagus. Okay. Okay. So what about the constrictions of the esophagus? The most important is the constrictions of the esophagus.
Three.
So how many constrictions are there?
Three.
Constrictions. The first one is at the beginning of the esophagus.
Yes.
That is called as the pharyngoesophageal junction. Beginning of the esophagus itself, it becomes narrow. Okay. So this is the first part. The second one is
aortic arch.
where the aorta with the arch. Okay. In this model it is not there. If you see actually in the front view, then at that time you can see that the arch of the aorta is there and it compresses, as well as the left bronchus. Okay. The trachea is on the slightly on the right side, and it gives the two divisions, the main primary bronchi, right and left. Right will be going on the right side, left will cross this esophagus. Okay, and the left bronchus is longer, as you have studied before, longer, narrower, and more oblique. So it will be crossing the esophagus. So that might lead to compression of the esophagus itself. So this is the second position where it will be compressed, okay, or it is constricted. And the third one is at when it pierces the diaphragm. At what level it pierces the diaphragm? T10. Okay. As I said yesterday, there are three openings in the diaphragm, main openings. Okay, it is called as VOA. Okay, V is for the inferior vena cava, which pierces at T8. And then in the esophagus VO, and that pierces at the T10. And there is A, that is the aorta. It will pierce the diaphragm at the level of T12. Okay, so this will be piercing at the T10. Okay, pierce at T10, immediately it joins with the, or it continues into the esophagus, the stomach. Okay, okay, so at the level of T11. Okay.
Second one and eight and which vertebra?
Which one?
Second one.
Second, this initially is at the, this is at the C6 beginning. Okay, the second one is at the T4, T5, because the
T4
trachea,
T4 and T5?
trachea ends at T4, right? And then it gives a bronchus. So it is at the level of T4 or T5 because it is slightly below. Okay, so that is the position. Okay. Why this is important? Why these constrictions are important?
Esophagus carcinoma.
Bloody.
And swallow
Scope.
Okay. Especially
Difficult for
whenever you are doing the esophagoscope or even the Ryle tube. The regular procedure is the Ryle tube. Whenever there is poisoning or something like that, if you want to do gastric lavage, every time even the GP will be doing putting the tube. So he should know the distance where exactly these injections are there, and whenever if he feels the resistance, he should know that it is normal. Okay, and he should pull it out slightly and then again try to push it back. Okay, then it will end. Okay, and if he feel resistance at some other points, then he should know that this is because of something else, abnormal constrictions. Okay, so always we'll be measuring it from the incisor tip. Okay, so the first constriction will be at the level of from here, from the oral cavity or the teeth, it will be at the C6. So what is the distance
6 inches.
from the oral cavity?
6 inches.
6 inches or 15 centimeters. Okay, 15 centimeters. This is the first point where you feel the resistance. And if you see the tube, on the tube it will be written distances. Okay, so easily you can see that it is almost at the approximately. Okay, slightly it differs from person to person, but approximately it will be 15 centimeters or 6 inches. The second will be at the position of at 10 inches or 25 centimeters. And the third resistance will be set at the 16 inches or 40 or 41 centimeters. Okay, these are the distances. So you should know the distance from the mouth up to the three junctions. Okay, so these three junctions are important. One is because of the resistance they feel when you pass the tube, any tube like the right tube or the esophagoscope. The second one is, this is the point where, because it is constricted, this is the point where you can see the foreign bodies. If they are swallowed, if they pass all these different areas, then it will be felt here. You can see or trace it. The third is because it is narrow, so it leads to regular frictions. Okay, whenever you are taking food or hard food, especially, or water, when you just lift it and drink it, that's the sunnah. So that's why you should sit. So the esophagus bends and then you have to take the water. Okay, if you take directly water, it might hurt these positions, constrictions, and that leads to the carcinoma. Regular frictions lead to erosion, and then later changes, there will be development of carcinoma. Okay, so these are the 3 points where you are supposed to know the constrictions. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what about the blood supply? Because it is a long tube, so yeah, so it is divided into upper 1/3, middle 1/3, and lower 1/3. Okay. So the upper 1/3 will be supplied by the inferior thyroid artery. The inferior thyroid artery not only supplies the esophagus, but it also supplies the thyroid gland as well as the trachea. All these three structures are around the inferior thyroid artery. Okay, so that's why it supplies all the three: the esophagus, trachea, as well as the thyroid gland, as the name indicates. Okay, so this is about the upper 1/3 of the blood supply of the esophagus. The middle 1/3,
Descending thoracic aorta.
descending thoracic aorta, because it is just beside it, so it will be giving lot of branches, direct branches, and that will supply the esophagus. Okay, it is not so short, the esophagus, as shown here. Okay, because they have to clear this part. If not, it will be a very long tube. Okay, almost 10 inches. Okay, 25 centimeters. And the lower 1/3 will be
Little gastric.
yeah, because it enters the abdomen. Now the artery which is supplying the stomach also supplies the remaining parts, a small part of the lower part of the esophagus, that is especially the left gastric. The blood supply of the stomach are many vessels are there, but one of them will be the left gastric, who will be supplying the esophagus. Okay. So this is about the arterial supply. What about the venous drainage?
The same
Except the second one.
Yeah. So the upper one third will be drained by the
Inferior thyroid.
inferior thyroid, just like the inferior thyroid artery, inferior thyroid vein will be draining the upper one third. Middle one third by the azygos as well as the hemiazygos veins. There are important veins in the thorax. Those are called as the azygos as well as the hemiazygos. They will be directly draining this part of the esophagus. The lower one third left gastric vein, that will be a tributary of the portal vein. Okay, so that is the most important, the venous drainage of the esophagus, because
Portal system.
because this is the site of the portocaval anastomosis. What do you mean by portocaval anastomosis? The anastomosis between the portal vein and the systemic vein. All other veins are the systemic veins, except the portal vein and its tributaries. Okay. So what's the importance? In case of cirrhosis, there might be portal hypertension.
Yes.
Okay, that leads to back pressure into the veins and
And
its tributaries, and they start draining oppositely. Okay, and they start trying to drain into the azygos vein and from there into the sphere. And that leads to enlargement of these veins. This is called as abnormal enlargement of the veins is called as varicosity. You might see varicosity in the vein. Okay, or even in case of the scrotum. Okay, that is called as varicose. Yeah. So that leads to, especially because this is a tube, hollow tube, so they are seen very much clearly, and their superficial veins also become dilated, and they start invading the canal of the esophagus. And whenever you take food or something like that, that leads to erosion, and they start bleeding. Okay, and it leads to severe hematemesis. Okay, severe hematemesis, and sometimes the patient might die because of this. That's why this venous drainage of the esophagus is very important. Okay. What about the lymphatic drainage?
Three.
Yeah, again it's the upper one third, middle one third, lower one third. Upper one third into deep cervical, because it is the neck. So it has to drain into the deep cervical. The middle one third, mediastinal group of lymph nodes. Okay, and in the lower one third, celiac. Okay, in abdomen mainly it is usually celiac. Okay, especially if it is in upper part. Okay, always it will be draining into the celiac group of lymph nodes. Okay. So there are some general features which you should remember, and even sometimes you don't remember the specific one, then easily you can trace it into the final destination. Okay, so always remember some of the general rules, and it becomes much more easy in anatomy. Okay. So this is about the lymphatic drainage. What about the nerve supply?
Esophagus plexus.
Yeah, esophageal plexus, made up of sympathetic and
Pharynx.
parasympathetic.
Yes, pharynx, parasympathetic.
Always, when as I said, there are general rules. Even in case of the GIT, most of the time parasympathetic will be vagus. Most of the time. Okay. So if you don't know anything, just write vagus for the parasympathetic. Okay. So you will get some marks. Okay. And what about the sympathetic? Hmm? What about the sympathetic? Superior sympathetic. There are many nerves which are coming all the way, and because it is extending all the way, so there are many plexuses of the nerves which will be directly supporting the sympathetic, starting from the C6 up to the even up to the T12. Okay. All these direct nerves will be forming a plexus
From C6
up to the T12. Okay. All these will be giving branches, and they together with the vagus will be forming. C6, because this is beginning from the C6 up to T12, right? Or T11 to be more specific. So this is about the nerve supply. Then what else? Anything else? Here in this applied aspect. Applied aspect we will study in pathology also. So I just tell you because what is the importance of the that particular topic you should know till you study the pathology and everything. So that's why we stress on some of these important. Anything else here? Everything is completed. Any doubts?